the second time following Kyle Hoskins. Jeff Stash!
I can't follow Kyle a fair bit. That's not a good place to be. That's hard to keep up with. Anyway, about 40 years ago, Marshall McCluhan said, "The medium is the message." And at the time, it shocked people. And it really kind of was a revolutionary statement. The media is the message. And people began to say, the media is the message. And a little after that, they began to say, what does that mean, the media is the message? And they started reading some of the things he wrote, which are very dense, and they explained it, but not in a complete way where you could go, the media is the message. It was more of a kind of an unsettling explanation that he kind of was onto something, and it's going on with us. It's not out there, it's in here. And this is where it got really interesting. Because what he was talking about, the media is the message, is that we look at something on TV, we listen to something on the radio. He was writing 40 years ago, but nowadays we would see it on the internet. We look at that message. We look at the information. You watch a movie on TV or on your computer, and it makes you laugh, or it makes you cry, or it makes you bored. But we communicate with that, and we are totally oblivious of the bigger thing. It's coming through a channel, and that's the media, the electronic media. Once upon a time, the printed media. If we go somewhere, chances are we're taking a car or a train or a bus. That's a media. That's an extension of our legs, just the way electronic communication is an extension of our speech or our hearing. And the thing that was really interesting that he pointed out is we're unaware. In fact, it's even hard to think about the media as a thing separate of itself. I mean, if you try and think about it, how is the media the message? What is the message? I mean, because you think of the internet as just a channel of communication. You think of television as a channel to watch a program. And it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that the media might live completely independent of that. Now, if you owned a TV station, you could care less what's on TV as long as you're selling advertisements and as long as you're selling that media. And that's a little bit of a clue that there are some people who have a functional grasp of the media. And now why this gets interesting is because when we were talking about how these different media, these channels, are extensions of our senses, the way that television is an extension of our sight, he pointed out a very interesting thing, and this has become very, very apparent in the last couple of years, and it was kind of prophetic when he was talking about it 40 years ago, which is that as you extend your senses out and out, they also become anesthetized and they almost become cut off in such a way that we become numb to our own experience without these extensions. And that may not make much sense right now, but if you think about it, you guys know like Fresh Direct, you guys know Seamless, all these things, right? You get on your computer, you type a couple of things, and 15 minutes later you order Chinese food, which shows up at your door. Now, 20 years ago, they started a company called Gizmo.com when the internet was brand new, and it did exactly that. And it failed miserably after a huge introduction, lots of venture capitalism, because people said, why on earth would I spend 15 minutes on my computer to order Chinese food when I can pick up the phone and just do it, down there and pick it up and bring it home. But what's happened is this exteriorization, because the internet is really an exteriorization of our entire nervous system. And he was talking about how as you do that, and you start to see it from the outside, you get cut off from it. And when you get cut off from it, you get anesthetized. And the example he liked to use was Narcissus seeing his reflection of the water and being so aware of it, he got stuck because he became anesthetized and lost touch of his own experience of his face and was just captivated. And more recently, we've got movies like The Matrix, right, where people get plugged into the system. And they're, the red pill, the blue pill, and take the wrong pill, and you get plugged in like a light bulb for life. And that is exactly what Marshall McLuhan was talking about 40 years ago. That the media that we use that is so convenient for extending our senses as far as we know are actually cutting off our senses one by one. And if you think it's really more convenient to spend 20 minutes on your computer ordering a pizza than pick up a phone or just walk down there and ask for it, you have to begin to wonder, because while we aren't aware of this media, and probably aren't aware that the media is both extending our senses and cutting them away from us so that we're plugged in, there's somebody who knows the media by itself. And that person, whoever it is, those people, those things, or maybe it's just a function unto itself, some sort of like a hive mind without some guiding individual. That force, that function of the media by itself, which has now separated us from our nervous systems, may have its own agenda. And we are dependent on it without knowing what it is. And you see that more and more if you look at things that are in the public eye. I mean, a woman who dresses in blackface, is that just one crazy lady? Or is it really something to spark a discussion about trans-racialism? I mean, you have to wonder what the perspective is. Is it that important? Does it really deserve our minds, or what else is going on? You know, and so it's just an interesting thing to think about, the things we take for granted. What's on the other side of the coin? We think we know, but until we turn it over, how do we know? And so it's important, when you get the message, to see not only the message, and not only who's sending it, of course it's going to, but what media is coming through, and what that media is doing to you, what it's giving you, and what it's taking away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just figured I'd share that.